Today's students are surrounded by more media than ever: news, social media platforms, videos, and even AI tools. With so much information at their fingertips, the real opportunity is helping them build the skills to question, evaluate, and understand what they see. That's why we created the Britannica Education Media Literacy Resource Hub, a free, one stop collection of trusted print and digital resources. Here, educators will find engaging tools to spark curiosity, strengthen media literacy, and empower students to become confident, responsible digital citizens. Start your journey with our ebook, Media Literacy for the Digital Era. Here you'll find activities and strategies to help students access information through the media, analyze that information, evaluate the information and its source, and use the information, or choose not to. You'll also explore the evolution of media and its impact on society, gain tips and best practices for integrating media literacy into the classroom, and access engaging activities that support a balanced approach to digital citizenship. Next, we've curated a wealth of media literacy themed resources, including lesson minis, fully built evidence based lessons designed to incorporate Britannica's trusted resources into an engaging educational experience. With lessons made for elementary, middle, and high school students, you can meet the unique needs of your students to help them on their media literacy journey. A great example of a lesson mini is actually our most recently published one titled Media Literacy in the Age of AI. So, for each lesson mini, at the top of the page, we have the grade level that this is built for, the topic, and then the unit that this would be incorporated into. Then we have a quick overview that talks about what to expect in this lesson, how you can use this to help students become more informed, intentional, and responsible digital citizens. Below that, we have some suggestions for implementation. We front load all of our key vocab and definitions for the lesson. And then we have some authentic learning extensions as well. So, how can I extend learning after this lesson, whether I'm taking a project approach or building other activities to just reinforce the skill that I'm teaching in this lesson mini? Then we get down to our activities. So every lesson mini has somewhere between 2 and 5 separate activities. These are designed to be implemented either sequentially or independently, depending on your classroom needs. And you can see that each one has a suggested timing as well. So, how much class time will it take to implement these activities in my classroom? Some of them might be less than 20 minutes, some are 20 to 30, 30 to 40, or 40 plus. And then for each lesson, we have some sections down here as well. So we include all of the materials and resources that you will need. This includes materials for your classroom, as well as resources from Britannica. So whether it's Britannica school content or graphic organizers, worksheets, discussion questions, these are all downloadable forms here for you to use in your classroom. Then we have implementation steps, so some suggested steps for implementing this in the classroom. We follow that up with differentiation and variation. So, how can you differentiate this activity for different student groups, knowing that there is no one size fits all approach in education? And then finally, some suggestions for collaborative teaching. So, hopefully, you can see lesson minis are a great way to incorporate media literacy into your classroom. And it does a lot of that work to help make this very easy for you to take this directly to your students. Bell ringers and exit tickets. Short activities built for transitions in the classroom, which can be used to introduce a topic or as a check for understanding. So, one of my favorite bell ringers in this section here is called the brain burst activity. This is a really nice way to incorporate students' prior knowledge as you're introducing a topic, or you can use this as a check for understanding. So, just really simple. We have a handout here that you can use with your students. And what you would do is you would just ask your students to write freely for 2 minutes, right? Put a topic at the top of the page, say media literacy, and say, I want you to write down everything that pops into your brain when you hear the term media literacy. Give them 2 minutes to complete that, have them swap with a partner, and then the partner can have 2 minutes to write down anything they thought on the first student's paper. And it really gives you that opportunity to see what a student knows, what a student is thinking about, but also allows them to see what are some areas of gaps, what are some areas that a fellow student may have thought of that they didn't think of, and really help to introduce that topic and get them primed and ready to go for your lesson. Instructional strategies: broad activities that can be integrated with any curriculum or content in the classroom. These strategies include teaching students how to evaluate evidence and question everything they read to develop their critical thinking and inquiry skills. This evaluating evidence instructional strategy is a really great way to incorporate these media literacy skills, encourage students to think critically, and analyze information and evidence from sources that are presented to them. So this is an activity that can be used multiple times. It can connect with any curriculum or content that you're teaching in the classroom, really designed to build repetition and focus on these skills over and over again in the classroom. So each instructional strategy includes a quick description, a procedure. It includes some steps for differentiation as well as multilingual support. So how can I support all of the learners in my classroom? And it provides you with this great graphic organizer here so that as students are reading these sources, they can really think critically about the evidence that they are finding and be able to describe that to you so that they're really able to answer these questions and cut through a lot of misinformation and disinformation that they may encounter. And graphic organizers: visually engaging diagrams, charts, and other structured visuals to help students process and present complex information and grasp relationships and processes. And one of my favorite graphic organizers here is the evaluating resources graphic organizer. One of the struggles I had when I was teaching was that my students would accept a lot of information that they read online at face value, and they wouldn't dig into the authorship, the point of view or bias, or the currency of a lot of the content that they were reading that they found online. So, this can be a really great way to encourage students to put on their detective hats, really evaluate the resources that they are finding online, but getting them to think about who wrote this, what publishing body did this come from, is there a point of view or bias in this source? And ultimately, as they answer these questions, they can come to the conclusion: is this a good source of information to use for my research project or not? So, again, a really nice way to incorporate these media literacy skills, but get students to scratch below the surface of content that they're finding online. Next up, you can download or print these Britannica posters with 5 fact checking tips to help students keep it real and build smart habits for spotting misinformation. Finally, explore our blog to keep up to date with the latest media literacy tips and best practices from Britannica Education. From ready to use activities to high impact lessons, the Britannica Education Media Literacy Hub gives you trusted resources to guide students in navigating today's media landscape with confidence.